Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy TJ Shoemaker here, back again with episode 3 of the Are You Relevant Talk Show, starring your boy TJ Shoemaker. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys showed so much love and support for the past 2 episodes. Number one was, of course, the how cheating in world wrestling is ruining our community. You guys show so much love. Thank you so much. And then, of course, the video that we just posted recently about Kid Darian and the allegations of him being a cheater. A lot of feedback from it. I cannot thank you guys enough. But you've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it. What's next after OPRW? For if you have been around the block, you know what OPRW is. It is the pillar of the pro wrestling community right now. It has been at the top. It has been the top fed for years now, with so many great pay-per-views, so many great matches, so much great talent, literally from the planning and the scripting and all the different things, the graphics, the build-up, the storylines, all the different things that play into OPRW. And of course, the man himself, ATG. ATG, I personally want to shout you out and thank you for giving us such an amazing fed that OPRW is, and all the incredible staff that help you with what you do, what you have done to the pro wrestling community. You have submitted not only a legacy for yourself, but a legacy for future feds to look up to as they're trying to, solidify themselves as a prevalent and prominent fed in the community, which we will be later talking about some upcoming feds that we can look forward to with OPRW ending. Because if you guys don't know, OPRW, also known as Online Professional Roblox Wrestling, is ending soon. And it's a very unfortunate thing, but it happens. You can't live forever, and unfortunately, all empires must eventually fall. But thank God ATG is going out on his own terms and it's not someone forcing him out. So that's a good thing, praise the Lord. But yeah, there's a lot of mixed reviews about it. Some people are happy that OPRW is leaving. They can't wait. They're excited. They're freaking going crazy like they on crack cocaine or something. I don't know. You might have to put them down or something. But there's a lot of people out there, such as myself, that are very sad to witness something so good come to an end. It's unfortunate, but ATG is getting up there in age, and I think it's time for him to call. He thinks it's time for him to call it a wrap. Of course, not only did OPRW create and build up so many superstars, but the franchises, if you will, that OPRW started. Of course, you have OPRW Storm, which is developmental brand that they do. Some prominent superstars over there that we will talk about later on. And then, of course, you have the Compound, which is basically their gym. Actually, probably the most active gym in the entire community as well. So OPRW is literally the fed. Everyone, if you are really in the pro wrestling community, you have heard of OPRW, you have been to OPRW, or you know someone that's been talking about OPRW. You know what OPRW is. It is no stranger to anyone that's in the pro wrestling community. It's a shame that it's leaving, but sometimes it has to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring up a few points here talking about what's next after OPRW. Because which is my first point, when OPRW is gone, is that it? Is this the end of the entire pro wrestling community when OPRW is gone? I personally don't think it is. Again, I'm not Jesus. I can't tell you if that's going to be. I can't give you a definite answer, and even if I could, I wouldn't. But I don't think it's going to be the end of pro wrestling because, again, OPRW plays a major factor in the community. Let's not get that mixed up. However, it is not the deciding block in the future of the community because, of course, there's so many other different feds out there that are potential prospects that we can look up to once OPRW eventually ends. And yeah, so I don't think that's going to be the end of the community. However, I do believe there are some pro wrestlers out there who will also leave with OPRW as a sense of respect or a sense of since the because in my mind I'm thinking they're like saying since OPRW is ending, you know, the Fed that built me up, the Fed that made me known, the Fed that made me relevant, no pun intended. Um, I'm also going to retire. I'm also going to leave the community. But of course, I don't know. Again, it's going to be an amazing, or not amazing thing to see. It's going to be an interesting thing to see when this all goes down. Of course, OPRW at the time that I'm recording this video, they either have a Royal Rumble today or they have already done the Royal Rumble today. It's gonna be between one. It's gonna be between one of those two. It just depends whenever the video goes up. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I do not believe that when OPRW ends, that's the end of the community. Now, are we gonna see a massive spike in terms of the total membership of role wrestlers in the community, if that makes sense? Maybe you'll see a lot of people leaving, a lot of people saying they're done or saying they're exclusive to certain feds once OPRW ends. So maybe we might see that. But do not let the loss of OPRW define the future of role wrestling, because there are so many feds out there that are competing, or not competing, but that can be the pillar of the community next. Of course, when APRW ended, for example, people thought, oh my God, the role wrestling community is ending. Oh my God, what should we ever do? And then OPRW came along, and tons of different other feds came along, but OPRW submitted themselves as the next pillar, and OPRW is not OPRW isn't the next APRW. It's just OPRW, if that makes sense. Like it's its own Fed, it's its own brand. It's not like a knockoff of APRW. It's its own thing that solidified itself. Such as the next Fed that's going to come along, it's going to be its own brand. It's not going to be a knockoff um, of OPRW. And so, when people who were in the what the fuck am I saying? When people were in the community back then, when APRW was doing its thing, it was the top of the game. No other Fed could compete with APRW because it was the biggest shit we have ever seen. I am so mad. I am still mad and upset at myself at this day. I think I was like probably 6 or 7 when APRW was around or whatever. Probably not. That's probably a little bit too young. But anyway, I was fairly younger when APRW was around, and I'm super upset with myself that I didn't actually get to go to APRW event. But this video isn't about APRW, it's about OPRW. So for my next point, I want to talk about what do we look forward to, or who do we look forward to? Ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt about it. There are a bunch of prominent superstars in the pro wrestling community to look up to. Not only superstars, but feds. But we're first going to talk about these superstars. Ladies and gentlemen, OPRW is known for building up superstars. I mean, look at their developmental brand. You had Joba Femi, one of my favorites, who competed for the OPRW Storm Championship on a multitude of times. He lost every single one of them. However, him losing does not define his future success in pro wrestling. I just want to make that clear, because I've been seeing a lot of hate on Joba Femi. Let's calm down on Joba, okay? Joba could be the next big thing. He might be the next Z.E. Lexner. He might be the next Brutal Damon. He might be the next Isaac Mercury. Probably not, but I don't know. We might see. But Joba Femi, he's a rising prospect of the community. 10 out of 10. I will watch his matches again. He, of course, fought A.A. Ivory, which is another uprising wrestler that OPRW built up. That's amazing. A.A. Ivory, shout out to you, dude. You're doing an incredible job with OPRW and all the different feds you go to. Miggy Raijin, for example, that's another prospect. My best friend. He's actually my researcher and analyst for this talk show. Miggy Raijin, he is no stranger to the community. He's known. He went by Miggy Sage. Now he's Miggy Raijin. But anyways, he's no stranger to the community. In 2026 alone, he accomplished so many accolades and accomplishments. Of course, none of them have been from OPRW yet, but you see what I'm saying, that this is what we can look forward to upon OPRW ending. You have Elijah Strickland, one of my favorite gimmicks in the entire community. I think he's creative. I think he's unique, and I definitely do think he is the future of Pro Wrestling. There are tons of other people you can name. You got Khan, you got Kobe Breaker, you got so many prevalent and relevant superstars that are the future. You have Sia, something like that. You got Fallen. You got so many people. So I don't want you guys to think that just because OPRW is ending, the community is also ending, because there are so much that we can look forward to. And I do want to talk about something else that we would be looking forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, my third and final point: who will inherit the throne, the kingdom? What new Fed, or not new Fed, but what current Fed will take the spot of OPRW? What will be the next pillar of Pro Wrestling and solidify itself as the next big thing? Ladies and gentlemen, there's absolutely ton of different feds out there that I'm going to name. But before we start off with the main feds that I personally think would be the future, I want to talk about some honorary mentions, starting off with Elite Wrestling. What the fuck am I saying? Let me calm down. Elite Wrestling, which is owned by Sin. Sin is an amazing person. I got the opportunity to go to Elite one time, and for those of you who know, it wasn't the best experience. I did say some very controversial stuff there, and I never got invited back, so you could probably tell how that went. But anyway, Sin, you're doing an amazing job with Elite. I think it's going to be an amazing Fed, and I think it definitely is the future. Next, we got CWF, also known as the Combat Wrestling Federation. It is owned by RJ. I never attended a event or anything like that, but I do be seeing what they're I'm about to punch myself. I do be seeing what they be doing. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Good. Put it in your mouth and eat it. Anyway, we got EHW, Extreme Hardcore Wrestling. That's another big Fed. Big Fed in terms of memberships, but it could potentially be a good Fed to go to. And lastly, our last honorary mention, you have WRWF, owned by Khan. Khan also is an amazing prospect in the Pro Wrestling community. He's definitely a rising star, and I do believe that he can be the future if he continues to go the way he's going. WRWF, also known as Roblox Wrestling Federation, is another potential prospect that could be the future of Pro Wrestling. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the main feds. Ladies and gentlemen, these are all the potential feds that I personally think will be the future of Pro Wrestling. I had the amazing, and since we're speaking of OPRW, and since we're speaking of all the different feds that could potentially replace OPRW, of course, you can't replace OPRW itself, but you can take the spot of being the pillar of the community. I just want to clear that up. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I did have the amazing opportunity, I forgot to mention this earlier, but I did have the amazing opportunity of actually attending OPRW. I attended their 200-man Royal Rumble. It was an amazing experience. I forgot what entry I was, but I know I lasted like 10 minutes and I got eliminated by some transgender, rogue diva, whatever. Anyway, I enjoyed it. And for a Fed like OPRW to even plan and script and just come up with all the mechanics and stuff needed to create a 200-man Royal Rumble, I haven't even seen any other Fed do something like that. So shout out to OPRW, ATG, and the staff team that was behind all of that. And of course, they do it big every time, every single pay-per-view. But that's enough OPRW glades. Ladies and gentlemen, the next couple of Feds I will name are the future of Pro Wrestling. There's no doubt about it. Starting off with number one, DKW. Everyone knows about DKW, Digital Knockout Wrestling, an incredible Fed. I've seen the graphics that they produce, the matches that they put on, the storylines that they tell. It's absolutely amazing. The DKW is the future. I see they get a lot of slack, and to the owners of DKW and the staff team of DKW, fuck every single one of them motherfuckers who hate on you, who criticize you. Guess what? You are the future, and they are upset. They are. I'm fucking stuttering. They are upset that they aren't on your level. Okay, so don't let the hate get to you. You're doing an amazing job. Next up, we got XWE, arguably the greatest CST, Central Time Zone Fed in the entire community. It doesn't need no description, doesn't need an introduction. It has solidified itself as the future, no doubt about it. Next, we have RRW, a huge Fed. I think they got 500 plus members. RRW, also known as Reborn Pro Wrestling. It was in the RWA before RWA had all that controversy going on. But yes, RRW, Amazing Fed. They got some incredible superstars over there. Yeah, they do their thing every time. You have XRW, Extreme Roblox Wrestling, another Fed that needs no introduction. They are incredible at what they do. Um, and every Fed I'm listing, their staff team, they just top notch, top notch. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Next, you got CGW, which is a Fed that my boy Miggy recently won a match at. I believe it was a championship. I hope I got that right. Anyway, classical global wrestling. Their graphics are insane, dude. Like that shit. Jesus might have made those graphics because they do a really good job with their graphics. They do a really good job with every thing they do. It is an amazing experience to be at CGW, to be a part of CGW and everything that they do. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to talk about the last Fed, the big Fed that I know for sure. Now, because I was paid to say this, I promise you I wasn't paid. And I promise you it's not because I work there. But, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to talk about IPWE, owned by Gent, also known as International Pro. Wait, let me make sure. Also known as International Pro Wrestling Entertainment, an amazing Fed. Oh my God, I'm the lead commentary there, and every single day I see Gent working his ass off to make sure that every show is better than the last show. The consistency, the commitment, the dedication that he shows is absolutely insane. It was probably the only Fed that has got two alliance deals within the first 2 weeks of coming back. Of course, on their resurrection tour, every single week he's asking me, TJ, what can we do to build this star up? TJ, what can we do to make this match look good? TJ, what segments could we do to really get the people involved, really get the fans involved? Not only that, but it was recently nominated and announced to be the breakout Fed of the community, which basically means like it's doing its job, okay? Like to win that from RWM, also known as Real Wrestling Media, is big. That's huge, dude. So shout out to IPWE. And of course, DKW, IPWE, and Elite are all a part of the CWA, which is a Real Wrestling Alliance, Central Wrestling Alliance. Amazing fucking alliance, dude. Like, you have the IWA, you have CWA. They're both incredible. I would love to be sponsored by them too. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, every single one of these feds have the potential to be the next OPRW, or not the next OPRW, but to be the pillar of the community. Every single one, ladies and gentlemen. But if you guys did enjoy this video, you want to see more of these Pro Wrestling type videos or just sports videos in general, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And your boy TJ Shoemaker will see you guys on the next one. But peace out for now.